New Stripe City, a YouTube channel for diehard Bengals fans. I'm your host, Ace Boogie. A big shout out to my subscribers, and if you love the Bengals, you might want to hit that subscribe button. If you're a diehard, be sure to hit the notification button. And if you think the Bengals will have a better record this year than last year, be sure to like this video. You guys already know I'm doing the 3,000 subscribers Madden 19 giveaway. Just subscribe, comment, and share this post on any of our social media to be entered. And you also know that we're doing the all-day, everyday t-shirts for $29.99, and the link is in the description. Now with the plug out of the way, let's talk about this game. So this was the first game that Tyler Eifert was actually active, which was pretty cool to see him in there. We kind of predicted that he would be in this game if he played in the preseason at all, but it was also a cool game because it was the return of Andy Dalton to Baltimore after catapulting them into the playoffs for the first time in 17 years, and also receiving $500,000 in donations and also giving it back to the Buffalo community. So it was cool to see him get a standing ovation as the opposing quarterback. But let's talk about the good from this game other than that. The offense was just really good. I think if I had to list them in order, I think number one was the offense. The preseason game started off with a bang with a 50-yard bomb to none other than John Ross, where he was able to split not one, but two defenders. One of the defenders he remixed twice, so that was cool to be able to see on the first play Andy Dalton complete a touchdown. And Andy Dalton himself was impressive in this game, going 11 for 16 for 180 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. And Eifert, while he was in, hauled in one catch for 11 yards. So Dalton clearly rebounded from his shaky performance against the Cowboys, and I think the offensive line held up in general in terms of pass protection. There were points where Andy Dalton had great time to be able to make a play while he was in there. I think if we're looking at the second biggest thing, and it was tough on choosing between the two, it had to be the defensive line. And the defensive line has been nothing short but nasty for 3 games in a row. But this game was just clearly one where they just were at the forefront of this game. They had 5 sacks in the first half alone. 5. Andrew Billings, Jordan Willis, and Carl Lawson all shined in this. Of course, in addition to Geno Atkins and Carlos Dunlap, but those guys just really stood out to me in this game, especially Big Bills, aka Andrew Billings. He just really wrecked stuff. He moved guys back from the line of scrimmage. He pushed guys back into other guys. It was just nasty. Big Bills is definitely looking like he's arrived. I see exactly why they cut Chris Baker. Chris Baker wasn't messing with that, bro. Let's just be real. On defense as well, you know me, you know, when I'm tough on guys and they prove me wrong, I give them props. And I definitely have to take my hat off to Sean Williams, who had 6 total tackles in this game. So shout out to Sean Williams. Definitely looking good after the Bengals cut George Iloka. Obviously, he is still a pretty good player to be back there. And with the good comes the bad. So we have to also talk about some of the bad, which was Cordy Glenn suffering a minor shoulder injury. He didn't return, but it was seen as more so of a precaution of him coming back. He was shown on the sideline motioning a thumbs up, so it seems like he should be good. But number 2 is fairly easy for me, and I have to say that it comes down to the running game. It was just horrible. It was bad. It was very bad. You can kind of see why we finished in the bottom of the league last year in the run, because Joe Mixon in this game only had 1.2 yards per carry, while Gio couldn't even get a yard, bro. He averaged 0.8 yards per carry. That is ridiculous, and it just didn't seem to get better as the game got on. It just kind of leveled out at where it was at, which was trash. And I think the third thing is that the second unit was the exact opposite of the starting unit. And, you know, the starting unit came out on fire and went up 20-0, but the second unit just, you know, started to surrender multiple scores after that shutout. And they just weren't as fluid and as consistent as the first team. And it seemed like it was somewhat of the opposite of what we saw last week with the Cowboys. Cody Core didn't play. I don't think Cody Core is making this roster, bro. It's not seeming like it. Like, unless this guy goes to the practice squad or something, Cody Core is not a lock to make this roster. Auden Tate, just sticking in the receiving room, had a play where he actually tipped the ball to the defender. In his defense, it wasn't a greatly thrown ball, but however, he should have probably made the catch. And that kind of took away from any of his opportunities. He had another play in the red zone where they chose to throw a slant, which was weird when you have a guy that's 6'5". You think that you would kind of throw kind of like a toss-up for this guy, but it threw a slant and it just didn't basically do anything for him. So not a good week for Auden Tate. And Alex Redmond, after we got the news that he would actually start this game at the right guard position and people were kind of excited, he goes out there and he has back-to-back penalties in his first start. So not a good one for Alex Redmond. Other than that, I didn't get to pay attention to how he blocked. I don't think I saw much, but it looked like he got replaced by Trey Hopkins pretty fast after he had a couple of those penalties. And also, I noticed, I do read the comments, so I noticed that you guys have been asking for a lot on Quentin Flowers, and he actually finally got in due to a lot of injuries at the running back position. But he only had 7 carries for 11 yards, so nothing super impressive from him. But I think overall this game was extremely impressive, at least for the starters, both on offense and defense. And I think that we saw key players that made some plays, which is what you want to see in the dress rehearsal game. And so my wonder is, after they make these next wave of cuts, who will remain on this roster? I think I'll definitely be paying attention to guys like Ryan Hewitt and Michael Johnson to see if they stick. But let me know in the comments who you think will be on the bubble and who will get cut, or just let me know what your thoughts are on the game, period. So again, I just want to thank you guys for helping this channel grow into one of the biggest Bengals channels on YouTube. I'm definitely nothing without you guys, aka Who Dey Nation, aka NSC Gang. Also, thank you to those who purchased shirts. I was so glad to be able to mail those off to you guys. And don't forget to take a picture and tag me with them on, because I definitely will put you on here for the shout out segment if you want me to. Just let me know if you want me to or not. But with that being said, it's time to actually start the shout out. So we only have one, but it is pretty special. So I want to shout out Keith Evans from the Bahamas. Thanks for tuning in, man, all the way from the islands. That's pretty dope. But as usual, I'll leave you guys with a Who Dey all day, every day, and especially on Sunday.